Hey, everybody, this is Helena Hart. Welcome to the Master Your Magnetism podcast, where I help you create the life and relationship you've always wanted. I'm actually streaming this episode live on YouTube today. So, hello to everyone watching me live. Feel free to say hi in the chat and let me know if you have any questions, and I'll get to as many as I can at the end. And if you're listening to this on Apple Podcasts or Spotify or anywhere else, and you'd like to see a video of this episode, that will be the first link in the description or episode details. And today I'm going to be sharing 5 nice girl habits that actually destroy a man's attraction for you and really diminishes his desire to come close to you. This is something I see women doing all the time. I see it in the comment sections of some of my videos here on YouTube. And I really understand that tendency when you have strong feelings for a man. Maybe you're not that attracted to that many guys. Then one guy comes along and you finally feel these intense feelings of attraction or chemistry. There's this tendency to want to just show him every single thing you have to offer, even before he's shown you that he's serious about you and ready to move things forward. So, hi to everyone watching in the chat. Let me know if you can hear me and see me okay. This is the second time I'm trying this. I had some technical issues a few minutes ago, but I'm trying this again. And thank you so much. I will definitely get to as many questions as I can at the end. So, the first nice girl habit that I want all women to break is basically giving a man way too much benefit of the doubt. My community is just filled with women who give a guy way, way, way too much benefit of the doubt. They're so understanding and so reasonable. And this could look like all different kinds of things. This could look like giving a guy undeserved second chances just because he's the guy you really like, right? It could look like buying into his excuses or making excuses for him. If your friends or family ask you, like, when's the last time you heard from him? Or when's your next date? What's the plan? When are you going to see him again? If you find yourself just repeating all the excuses that he's given you or making excuses for him yourself, like, well, he's just been so busy. He's up against a deadline at work. He's going through this family situation. He's having financial troubles. And it's almost like you're his secretary, just like spouting out all the excuses he's given you and giving him way too much benefit of the doubt. This could look like waiting for a man endlessly. That's one of the number one habits I want women to turn around in their love lives, is just waiting for a guy who's really not stepping up and pursuing you for the kind of relationship you want. I'm curious, if you're watching live, have you ever tended to give a man way too much benefit of the doubt or wait around for him endlessly even when he wasn't pursuing you consistently? We've all been there. And again, it can be easy to do this when you have strong feelings for a man, especially if you see those feelings as kind of rare or special. It can be easy to do this without even realizing it. We can slip into doing some of those things. So let me know your experiences in the chat or down below in the comment section if you're listening to the replay. And that brings me to number 2, and that is choosing a man before he chooses you and shows you with his consistent actions over time that he's serious about you and he's available for the kind of relationship you want. This can be really easy to do too. Again, especially if you're not attracted to that many people. And then someone comes along, it can be easy to put him on a pedestal if you really have these feelings of chemistry or attraction for him. And we kind of choose him in our mind or in our heart before he's chosen us and shown us that he is serious about us and ready to move things forward. So you don't want to choose a man before he's chosen you and put him on a pedestal, because when you do that, there's this tendency to just kind of want to go after him and prove yourself to him and win him over and do all of these things that I'm going to be talking about in the rest of this live stream. So number 3 is making things as easy as possible for him. This could look like, again, all different kinds of things. This could look like canceling your plans last minute because he's just so busy and he can fit you into his schedule. And so you cancel your plans to accommodate him. It could look like always being the one to drive to him and set up the plans and initiate contact and pay for all the dates, anything that looks like making things as easy as possible for a guy, because there's this fear that you're going to lose him if you don't do that, usually because he's not showing up consistently for you. Number 4 is saying yes to something before you're ready, or before you decide if this is something you even want, out of a fear of losing this man. This could look like saying yes to exclusivity, jumping into that instant relationship, even just in your mind or in your heart, because you're afraid that if you keep your options open and date other men, this guy's going to get turned off and it'll push him away, when really a lot of times men are still doing that too, especially men in this situation where they're just always busy, or there's always something preventing him from prioritizing you and committing to the kind of relationship you want. It could look like saying yes to sex or some kind of physical intimacy because you're afraid a guy is going to be turned off or get scared away if you set a boundary or express your standards around that. It could be anything. So just catch that. If you find yourself saying yes to something before you're ready, or if it's just something that doesn't feel good to you, that's a real people pleasing tendency that I want everyone to start to turn around. And that brings me to number 5, and that is investing more into the relationship than he does. And I see women doing this all the time. Of course, these can go both ways. Men do this as well. But since my audience on my podcast and here on YouTube is mostly women, I'm speaking from the woman's perspective. I hear from women every day, literally, who are just investing so much in a man or in a relationship, and he's really not doing anything. He's just barely showing up on her phone maybe once a week or a couple times a month. And they've really chosen him before he's chosen her, which brings us back to number 2. So those are the 5 I wanted to share today. I can do a recap real quick and then get to some questions. Number 1 is giving a guy way too much benefit of the doubt. That could look like making excuses for him, waiting around for him endlessly, or giving him undeserved second chances just because you have strong feelings for him. Number 2 is choosing a man before he's chosen you and shown you with his actions that he's serious about you. Number 3 is making things as easy as possible for him, basically pushing your own needs and standards or boundaries aside and just accommodating him at all costs because you're afraid you're going to lose him if you don't. Number 4 is saying yes to something that doesn't feel good to you, or saying yes to something before you're ready because you're scared you're going to push him away or you might lose him if you don't do that. And number 5 is investing more into the relationship than a man does. And it's funny, we tend to think that if we can just show a guy every single thing we have to offer and just show him that we're this really cool, understanding, easygoing girl, that he's going to see us as relationship material or wife material, and he's going to finally put both feet in and prioritize us or commit to the kind of relationship we want. And it just doesn't happen. It's kind of the opposite. Men will fall head over heels for a woman who knows where to draw the line, is comfortable expressing her needs and standards and boundaries, and is willing to walk away if a guy isn't able or willing to meet her there. So this is not about just being bitchy or being this ice queen who says, you need to treat me like a goddess. Here's my list of requirements, right? A woman who truly knows her value doesn't need to shout her boundaries or do anything like that because, like I mentioned, she's willing to walk away, and that's in her energy or in her vibe, and it's incredibly attractive to the right man. It might repel men that just want to use her, right? But the right man is going to absolutely love that you have standards and boundaries, and you're not just going to make things as easy as possible for him. And then that really inspires the right guy to rise to that occasion and be that man for you who wants to meet your needs and make you happy. So that's what I wanted to share today. I really don't have a lot of time. I'm recording a bunch of videos today with other experts, but I do want to try and get to some questions. So let's see. Oh, hi to everyone in the chat. Can you have a recorded video clip here at YouTube? Thank you, Helena. A recorded video of what, Crystal? Can you give me some clarity around that? The replay of this will be posted on YouTube as soon as I'm finished. So yeah, absolutely, that'll be available. Okay, Catherine says, I've been dating him for 2 months. We spent 2 days at his place for the first time. He tried to have sex. I told him we need time to define the relationship. Was right to say that and spent the night. Yeah, absolutely. That's number 4, right? You don't want to say yes to something before you're ready, or say yes to something at all that doesn't feel good. So if you're able to say something like, for future reference, or for anyone else in this situation, it would feel amazing to sleep together. I love kissing you. I love being close to you. That's really something I'm looking forward to. And that's something I'm also saving for when I'm in a committed relationship, or when we get to know each other better or get more deeply connected, or make sure we're on the same page in terms of what that means for us and the relationship. Any of those options would be great. Of course, you want to plug in your unique situation here, what feels authentic and true to you. But yeah, absolutely. You don't want to say yes to anything like that. before you're ready. Oh, she also says, he said he agreed to wait for intimacy, but I feel he's not ready to commit. Yeah, if he's not ready to commit, just keep dating him, right? Keep dating him, keep your options open if you're not exclusive. And of course, I personally would not sleep with a guy. If what you want is a committed relationship, don't sleep with him before he's ready. Sex is not a way to further the relationship. It doesn't work that way in the mind of a man. A guy can have a great sexual experience with you and still be in that same place where he's not ready to commit. So you want to make sure you're on the same page with him before taking that step. So great question. Thank you so much for sharing that. Okay, personal question. When you took a couple years off after your breakup, did you at any point worry that you'd never be ready to connect with a new man again? Oh, that's such a great question. Yeah, for those of you who don't know, when I first started my YouTube channel a few years ago, I was newly single, not ready to date. I must have been crazy starting a YouTube channel about dating and relationships and self love. But, I really believed in my own ability to attract what I wanted once I was ready, which is exactly what happened a few years later. You guys know I met my husband 24 hours after joining an online dating site at the beginning of 2020. And so I did believe in my ability to attract what I wanted. But more importantly, I really believed in this work. I believed that self love was the answer, and it has nothing to do with your relationship status or whether or not there's a man or another person in your life at all. But yeah, of course, I'm human. Did I worry that I'd never be able to connect with a new man? There might have been some fears, of course, that can come up, but for me personally, I would have much rather been single forever than, be in the wrong relationship or stay in a situation that was abusive where I was being mistreated or neglected or any kinds of situations I hear from women in my community. So to me, it didn't matter. I was going to, make the best of my life and be happy with or without a man. So I took those couple years. I did some counseling. If anyone's curious about who I worked with, the link is in the description, I believe. But you can also email me at helenahartcoaching@gmail.com. I can send you information about who I personally worked with because I think that was life-changing and it was really crucial for attracting my amazing husband so quickly once I was ready. But yeah, I guess for me personally, when fears did come up, to me, I was happy being single. I liked being single too. So it wasn't all about like, what if I never attract someone else? I was just kind of enjoying life and healing from the breakup and things like that. Did that answer your question or do you have any others? Thank you for asking that. I thought that was a really good question. Okay. Here's another one. Ex broke up a year ago, says he does not love, sees no future, was waiting for closure from my side. Lastly, he broke up 1st of July, asked to move on, said he won't contact, sent a request from an account on Instagram. Why? She's asking. It sounds like he really is over it and he wants closure and wants to move on. I certainly hope you're not trying to get back together with him because he's making it really clear that he doesn't see a future. If I were you and you want to give him that closure, you could say, I wish you all the best. Oh, she wrote in a little more. Let's see. Recently, he sent a request from another account on Instagram. Instead of reaching out on WhatsApp, we are not in contact since almost a year. Why did he do so? You know what? Yeah, I wouldn't get caught up in analyzing why this happened, right? Because he's flat out telling you he doesn't love you. He sees no future. He just wants closure. He wants to move on. So don't get caught up in analyzing why. There could be a million reasons why, but it's important to just believe what he's saying and move on. So hope that was helpful. Does anyone have health issues they deal with that holds you back? I have fatigue issues, and sometimes I think I'll never find anyone. Oh, I hear from people all the time in that situation. Again, for those familiar with my story, I've certainly, experienced physical pain issues, having trouble walking. I have, issues with my spine and the kind of the way my anatomy is with my legs. I've had multiple surgeries, and so, I definitely felt like maybe I was never going to find someone, but the right person is going to love you for all of those things. I've worked with women who have things like MS or some kind of, disability in their mind that makes them feel less attractive, but they've all found actually really great guys who love that about them, want to, help them out and be that man for them. So I understand where you're coming from. Absolutely. And there's just so much evidence that your love story exists. So I'd start looking for evidence of that. So thank you so much, Tina. And you're welcome. Your videos are so validating and lovely. Oh, I'm so happy to hear that. Hi, everybody. Oh my gosh, so good to see everyone here. And I think that was the last question, which is perfect because I only had about 15 minutes today. So I'm recording a video with Rory Ray next, and I'll be posting that on my channel soon. I know everyone loves Rory. She's a total favorite here on my channel. So make sure you're following my podcast, Master Your Magnetism. That's on Spotify and Apple Podcasts and anywhere else where you can listen to podcasts. That's where I'm spending most of my time these days and where you can find my newest and, in my opinion, my best, most in-depth content right now. You can also follow me on Instagram at Helena Hart Coaching. If you're watching on YouTube, that's on the screen. There are still a lot of fake accounts out there using my name and photos to scam people out of money. So make sure you're following this one right here. That is actually the last link in the description or episode details, Instagram.com/Helena Hart Coaching. And let's see, what else do I have for everybody? You can get my free gift, 3 Keys to Attract the Man You Want report and audio training. That's totally free on my website, helenahartcoaching.com. That's also in the description as well, along with all kinds of other things I have for you. I hope this was helpful. Let me know your thoughts and experiences with this down below in the comment section if you're listening to the replay of this on YouTube. And I will see you next time. Have a great rest of the week, everybody.